This is the closing phase, where destiny no longer forms, it functions. Archangel Michael says this is the moment heaven stops shaping and begins trusting. Trust is heavier than training. Training corrects mistakes. Trust assumes maturity. You have entered a season where heaven expects you to carry what was given without constant supervision. This is not abandonment. This is promotion. Promotion removes safety rails. Safety rails are replaced with internal law. Internal law is stronger because it does not rely on enforcement. It relies on agreement. You are now in agreement with purpose. That agreement is what seals destiny permanently. Michael's presence here is not aggressive. It is immovable. He says what has been established cannot be reversed because it is no longer external. It lives inside your decisions. Decisions create paths. Paths become legacy. Legacy is not what people remember, it is what continues after you stop speaking. Your life is now writing something that will outlive your voice. That is why this stage feels sober. Sober does not mean joyless. It means clear. Clarity carries weight. Weight shapes generations quietly. Noise never does. Michael reveals that generational impact does not begin with children or followers. It begins with patterns. Patterns outlive personalities. The patterns you maintain now will echo forward, either as order or as correction. You are now responsible for what echoes. This responsibility is sacred. Do not fear it. Fear weakens grip. Respect strengthens it. You respect this calling because you understand the cost it took to reach it. Cost creates value. Value creates protection. Protection sustains outcome. Michael says many want influence without inheritance. Inheritance requires consistency. Consistency requires restraint. Restraint is the final discipline. You are learning it now. Restraint means knowing you can act and choosing when not to. Power expressed at the wrong time damages outcome. Power restrained until the authority. Strategic authority shapes futures. As this final part unfolds, you may feel a deep separation from who you once were. This is not loss. This is completion. That version carried you as far as it could. Carrying it further would slow you. Release it without nostalgia. Nostalgia binds movement. Gratitude frees it. Be grateful. Gratitude honors the past without living there. Michael says you will now notice that your presence alone affects environments. Rooms settle when you enter. Chaos quiets. Tension diffuses. This is not intimidation. This is alignment expressing itself. Alignment carries order naturally. You do not need to announce it. Announcement weakens authority. Presence reveals it. This is why you must remain internally clean. Internal compromise disrupts external effect. Guard your inner world more fiercely than your public image. Public image fades. Inner alignment sustains. Michael issues a final warning that is not threatening, but absolute. Never exchange depth for popularity. Popularity consumes legacy. Depth preserves it. Those who choose popularity burn brightly and disappear. Those who choose depth burn steadily and endure. You were not built to disappear. You were built to remain. Remain consistent. Remain disciplined. Remain awake. Awareness is now your shield. You will not be warned loudly again. Warnings will be subtle. Subtlety requires attention. Attention requires humility. Humility keeps authority clean. Clean authority does not corrupt. Corruption is the only thing that can destroy what has been given. External forces cannot touch this. Only internal decay can. That is why this final seal focuses inward. Michael declares that as long as you choose order over impulse, discipline over convenience, truth over comfort, nothing assigned to you will fail. Failure now would only come from abandonment of principle. Principles are not rules. They are anchors. Anchors keep ships steady in unseen currents. Currents exist whether acknowledged. This stage is not announced. It is recognized. Archangel Michael says Part 13 exists beyond preparation, beyond sealing, beyond confirmation. This is the realm of consequence. Consequence does not mean punishment. It means reality responding accurately to who you have become. At this level, life no longer reacts to your prayers as much as it responds to your posture. Your posture now determines outcome faster than words ever could. Heaven listens, yes, but heaven also watches how you stand when nothing is being explained to you. Explanation is no longer required. You have enough truth to operate without narration. Michael says narration belongs to beginners. Silence belongs to the entrusted. You will notice that events now unfold with precision. Delays shorten. Outcomes accelerate. This is not coincidence. This is alignment reaching velocity. Velocity does not feel chaotic when direction is correct. It feels inevitable. You are moving inside inevitability now. That is why resistance feels weaker. Resistance feeds on uncertainty. Certainty starves it. You are certain now, not emotionally, but structurally. Structure does not shake when emotion fluctuates. That is why heaven built structure in you before releasing influence through you. Influence without structure collapses inward. Structure sustains pressure. Michael reveals that in this phase, your presence becomes instructional without intention. People learn simply by observing how you move, how you wait, how you speak, how you refuse. Refusal is now as important as action. What you refuse protects what you carry. Saying no preserves destiny more than saying yes ever could. You are no longer evaluated by what you accomplish, but by what you decline to compromise. Compromise at this level does not look sinful. It looks reasonable. That is the danger. Reason without alignment becomes deception. Alignment must always outrank logic. Logic changes with information. Alignment remains constant. Michael seals this part with a truth that echoes forward. From this point on, what you build will require maintenance, not rescue. Maintenance is daily, quiet, uncelebrated. But maintenance is what keeps structures standing when storms return. There will be moments when logic suggests shortcuts. Shortcuts promise speed. Speed without integrity produces collapse later. Michael warns clearly, nothing in your future requires you to betray your inner law. Inner law is now higher than opportunity. Opportunity that violates law is not opportunity, it is distraction wearing reward. Distraction drains momentum. Momentum now matters more than motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Momentum carries you when motivation fades. You are operating on momentum now. As this part deepens, Michael speaks about legacy pressure. Legacy pressure feels different from fear. Fear wants escape. Legacy pressure demands responsibility. You will feel the weight of choices not just for yourself, but for what follows after you. This does not mean children alone. It means systems, environments, mindsets, paths that others will walk because you stabilized them. This is why accuracy is critical. Inaccuracy now multiplies outward. Accuracy multiplies protection. You are a stabilizing point. Stabilizing points must remain fixed. Movement is allowed. Drift is not. You may experience moments where the world feels slower than you. This is not impatience. This is frequency difference. Do not force synchronization. Forcing synchronization damages both sides. Allow others to move at their pace. You are not ahead, you are aligned. Alignment often looks like advancement to those still searching. Michael instructs you not to shrink to match discomfort. Shrinking weakens authority. Authority must remain calm, not concealed. Calm authority invites alignment without pressure. In this phase, spiritual intimidation no longer works on you. What remains is psychological suggestion. Suggestion attempts to soften conviction. It asks questions like, does this really matter? Is this too strict? Wouldn't it be easier if? Ease is not your metric anymore. Effectiveness is. Effectiveness requires discipline. Discipline is the quiet refusal to negotiate with comfort. Michael says heaven will not rescue you from decisions anymore. Rescue was for formation. Now comes consequence alignment. This is not cruelty. This is respect. Respect assumes capacity. Capacity has been proven repeatedly. You survived confusion without bitterness. You endured delay without corruption. You held power without abuse. These are rare proofs. Proofs grant autonomy. Autonomy increases responsibility. As autonomy increases, you may feel moments of loneliness even in crowds. This is not isolation. This is distinction. Distinction separates function. Tools are separated by purpose, not value. You are being used differently now. Different use requires different handling. Do not envy simplicity. Simplicity cannot carry what you now hold. Complexity is not chaos when ordered. Your life is ordered complexity. Ordered complexity produces impact. Michael introduces a severe truth here. You will no longer receive reassurance for obedience. Obedience now stands on conviction alone. Conviction without applause builds incorruptible authority. Applause can rot motives if relied upon. Heaven withholds applause to preserve purity. Purity protects legacy. Legacy matters now. You will encounter individuals who sense your weight and attempt to lean on it. Do not allow dependency to replace growth. Support without replacing responsibility. If you carry others beyond their strength, you weaken both. Authority that rescues constantly becomes exhausted. Authority that teaches endurance multiplies. Choose multiplication. Your words now carry consequence even when spoken casually. Casual speech can plant seeds unintentionally. Be intentional. Speak less. Mean more. Silence has become one of your strongest tools. Silence forces others to confront themselves. Noise distracts them from it. Let silence work. Michael warns that nostalgia may return one last time, not as longing, but as comparison. Comparison is poison at this level. Comparing past intensity to present stability will tea. This phase also reveals who can walk beside you without slowing you. Those who respect your pace will remain. Those who resent it will fade. Do not chase either. Chasing disrupts balance. Balance maintains authority. Michael's presence intensifies, not louder, but closer. He says this is the stage where heaven defends alignment automatically. You no longer need to call for defense constantly. Defense is integrated. But integration does not mean exemption. You must still choose well. Protection does not excuse negligence. Negligence invites loss. Loss at this level is not destruction, it is delay. Delay wastes time. Time is precious now. You may feel an urgency to complete things you once postponed. This urgency is not anxiety. It is accuracy activating. Accuracy knows when timing aligns. Move when clarity remains steady. Do not rush when clarity flickers. Flicker indicates interference. Steady light indicates permission. As Part 13 approaches its deeper layers, Michael states this final governing truth for this phase: you are no longer becoming dangerous to darkness, you are irrelevant to it. Darkness no longer plans against what it cannot influence. Influence has been severed. Severance occurred when you stopped reacting and started governing. Governance is quiet. Governance is firm. Governance does not negotiate with chaos. Your life will now challenge others not by confrontation, but by contrast. Contrast exposes misalignment naturally. Some will correct. Some will resist. Both are acceptable. Your role is not to manage response. Your role is to maintain standard. Standard is the invisible crown you now wear. Crowns are not for display. They are for responsibility. Responsibility has weight. Weight builds endurance. Endurance completes destiny. Michael seals this part with a truth that echoes forward. From this point on, what you build will require maintenance, not rescue. Maintenance is daily, quiet, uncelebrated. But maintenance is what keeps structures stand. This layer is activated only when stability is real. Archangel Michael says storms do not arrive to threaten what is weak anymore. They arrive to verify what claims permanence. Verification is not cruel. It is honest. What cannot endure pressure does not deserve to remain unchanged. Pressure reveals structure. Structure reveals truth. Truth determines continuation. You are now entering verification cycles. These cycles do not feel dramatic. They feel inconvenient. Subtle disruptions. Unexpected resistance. Delays that test patience rather than courage. This is intentional. Courage was tested earlier. Patience must be tested now. Patience confirms maturity. Maturity sustains authority. Michael says storms at this level do not scream. They press. They apply steady force, watching for cracks. Cracks are not created by storms. They are exposed by them. If something fractures, it was already compromised. Do not panic if something shifts. Observe. Observation prevents overreaction. Overreaction damages stable systems. You are no longer called to fight storms. You are called to remain structured inside them. Remaining structured neutralizes chaos faster than confrontation ever could. As this phase unfolds, you will notice that what once disturbed you now only slows you momentarily. That is progress. Do not demand emotional numbness. Numbness is weakness disguised as strength. Stability allows feeling without surrender. You will feel pressure, but you will not dissolve under it. That difference matters. Michael says pressure that does not destroy you recalibrates you. Recalibration strengthens joints you did not know were weak. Accept recalibration. Resist denial. You may experience sudden clarity about systems, relationships, habits, or environments that are no longer aligned. This clarity will not arrive with anger. It will arrive with certainty. Certainty does not argue. Certainty acts. When certainty appears, do not delay. Delay erodes accuracy. Accuracy must be honored. Michael issues a firm instruction here. Do not attempt to save structures that heaven is allowing to be tested. Testing determines worth. Interfering with testing prolongs instability. Let what is weak reveal itself. You are not responsible to preserve everything. You are responsible to preserve alignment. Alignment sometimes requires letting go without explanation. Explanation invites negotiation. Negotiation weakens resolve. Resolve must remain intact. At this level, storms will also test your restraint. You will have the ability to respond forcefully, quickly, decisively. Do not confuse ability with assignment. Power used prematurely damages long-term outcome. Michael says some storms are not meant to be stopped. They are meant to pass while you remain unmoved. Remaining unmoved frustrates chaos. Chaos feeds on reaction. Deny it reaction. You will feel moments where silence feels uncomfortable, especially when misjudged. Let silence stand. Silence during storms reveals who trusts structure and who requires noise for reassurance. Those who require noise will expose themselves. Do not correct them. Exposure does the work. Correction at the wrong time creates resistance. Timing is now critical. Michael warns that impatience during storms creates self-inflicted damage. Storms have duration. You cannot rush them without losing alignment. Ride duration with discipline. Duration trains endurance. Endurance protects legacy. Legacy cannot be rushed. Anything rushed at this level fractures later. As the storm test continues, you may notice that your inner responses are being measured more than external outcomes. Heaven is watching how you think, not just what you do. Thought discipline is under evaluation. Repeated negative assumptions weaken authority. Guard your assumptions. Assume alignment unless proven otherwise. Suspicion corrodes peace. Peace maintains clarity. Clarity ensures correct response. Michael reveals that storms now will also test generosity boundaries. Pressure may invite guilt-based giving or overextension. Do not give from pressure. Give from instruction. Giving under pressure creates resentment later. Resentment poisons legacy. Legacy requires clean motives. Keep motives clean. There may be a moment when you feel tempted to return to old methods because they once worked under pressure. Do not. Old methods belong to earlier seasons. Reusing them now creates imbalance. New authority requires new methods. Methods must match structure. Structure has evolved. So must response. Michael's presence tightens here. He says, understand this clearly, storms at this level do not determine your future. They reveal it. What remains after storms is what was truly built. What falls away was never meant to endure. Grieve nothing that collapses during verification. Collapse is mercy when replacement is stronger. As this continuation approaches its close, Michael seals the storm test with a governing law. If you remain aligned, nothing tested will fail permanently. It will either pass intact or be replaced by something stronger. Replacement is not loss. Replacement is upgrade. Upgrades require removal. Removal can feel violent if misunderstood. Understand it. Stand steady. Do not harden. Do not panic. Do not rush. Let pressure do its refining work. You were built for this level. The storm recognizes it. That is why it came. This is what comes after the storm refuses to destroy you. Archangel Michael says aftermath is more revealing than impact. Impact tests structure. Aftermath reveals authority. When the pressure lifts and you are still standing, the world around you must adjust. Adjustment is inevitable. Power shifts do not announce themselves with celebration. They occur in silence, when systems quietly reorder around what did not collapse. You are now in that moment. The storm has passed, not because it was weak, but because it found no fracture large enough to exploit. What remains has weight. Weight attracts responsibility. You will feel the atmosphere change. Conversations shift tone. Resistance softens or disappears. Some doors open without effort. Others close without explanation.